Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of 2024 of MHEDA Talks. This is actually, we're going into our fifth year of MHEDA Talks. We're very excited about it. We have a great agenda for this year. And we thought we'd kick this year off with Nate Storey. He's the CEO and president of Storage Solutions. He is also the 2024 MHEDA Convention Chair. So, welcome, Nate.
Thank you, Shari. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to kick off 2024 with my first ever podcast. So thanks for the
First
invitation.
ever?
Yes,
Wow.
first ever.
Well, I hope we make it a good experience for you, but we appreciate you joining us.
Thank
As I said, on top of all of your other responsibilities, you're also the 2024 MHEDA Convention Chair. So that has to be pretty exciting.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great opportunity. I've been on the MHEDA board for about 5 or 6 years now, and have seen each chairman that came before me with the opportunity to chair the convention. And when first time I saw it, I think it was in Miami with Mike Vaughn, and I said, "That's what I want to do someday." And so here we are in
And here we
2024.
are.
And, get to go out to San Diego, beautiful, warm, sunny San Diego, and chair the convention and see all the great people of MHEDA, which is really what makes this association so awesome.
I couldn't agree more. So, before we jump into all the exciting details of Mahida, we'd like to get to know our guests a little bit better. So, could you just give me a quick rundown of storage solutions and then maybe a little bit of background on how you got started in material handling?
Yeah, absolutely. So Storage Solutions has been in business since 1978, and we started as a small little locker company in the state of Indiana. And over our 45 plus years in history, we've changed quite a bit along with the industry. And so we went from a little distributor of Penco products and expanded into more of a storage and handling provider and distributor. And now we're a full blown systems integrator that is owned by the international company Young Heinrich. And so we've been not quite a year under their ownership. So it's been a career of transition and change, but it's been exciting. I started here 17 and a half years ago. I was recruited into the industry and to storage solutions by my uncle who owned storage solutions, Craig McElhenney. And like so many of us in the industry, we had some sort of friends or family connection, and that's what brought me in. And I got here, and it was a small little company back then, but we recognized the opportunity, and we had a great team of people around us, and we started recruiting more like-minded individuals that wanted to grow and saw the opportunity that was this industry. And we just started making our company bigger and better and expanding into more solutions for our customers. And as our customers required more demands and change within the distribution center, it challenged us to innovate our own business and come up with new solutions for our customers. And it's really just been an exciting time to be a part of the industry.
It really is, and it's amazing the amount of change that has happened in what maybe feels like for some people a long time, but it's a relatively short amount of time at the progression of change, especially in this space. So, congratulations on doing so well. I know you guys are an organization a lot of people look up to, and you guys are killing it out there. So, congrats on that. But
Thank you.
I'm going to pivot a little bit to talk about the MHEDA convention. I think I went to the first MHEDA convention in 20, probably my first one was 2015. And it's always been such a tremendous experience for me. But I know a lot of people aren't as familiar with the convention. Could you give us a little bit of an idea of what really the MHEDA convention is?
Yeah, absolutely. So the MHEDA convention is probably my favorite thing that MHEDA does all year. It's where I find the most value. There's certainly other ways to engage with MHEDA and get value, but once a year we do our annual convention, and we select different host cities across the country. We try to change the area. So, depending on where our distributors and members live, it might be a little longer or closer. This year's in California, so we're going out to the West Coast. But we always, spend about 3 to 4 days with other association members. And it's a chance for everyone to come together and connect. And we share some of our best practices via roundtables. So you get to hear from other, like-minded individuals that are either own companies or run companies out there. It's both distributors and suppliers, and we come together and really have the opportunity to share and to learn. And to me, that's what's most valuable. And so, MHEDA does a great job at the convention of, providing engaging content from speakers. I think we'll maybe talk a little bit about those here in a minute. I always have some good key nuggets to take away from them and bring them back to our organization and try to implement them into what we're doing. And then just the fellow members, and connecting with them and understanding how you might be able to learn and expand your network. The power of a big positive network in the industry and just in life in general is so huge, and it's certainly benefited me personally and professionally, but also as a company. And I would say that a lot of our members echo that, which is why it's always one of the best attended events of the year, the MHEDA convention.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, having attended for a while now, and I've attended when I worked for a distributor, a pretty large distributor in the Midwest, and I've attended since having my own small business. And you can make it work, and both sides of it have been truly, truly beneficial. I always come back with more than I came with. And it's always financially benefited myself or the company I was working for, meaning the ideas I came back with to drive additional revenue, the connections I made. So it sometimes people look at the price tag and the travel cost of it, and it might seem a little bit high in some cases, but the amount that it's always more than paid for itself, double or triple sometimes for sure. So it's 100%, it's an investment, but
Absolutely.
100% worth the investment.
Couldn't agree more.
It was interesting when we started our podcast today and kind of talking about the progression of your business and your own career. You use the word change a lot. This year's theme for the convention is riding the waves of change. So, how did you guys come to that as really being the focus of this year's convention?
Yeah, yeah. So we always try to pick a theme centered around the location of the property. And so, being in San Diego this year, close to the ocean, and in Southern California there, so the waves, it was an easy one to pick out there. But going back to last year's convention and even the one before, we've heard from Brian Bolio in ITR Economics about some, we'll call it, turbulence in the economy that he was anticipating. And we've had a robust few years of growth in our industry, coming out of the COVID pandemic, the strains and stress that it put on the supply chains. A lot of companies were just, expanding and pumping a lot of money into, shoring up those supply chains. And, we expected it to be a little different than what we've experienced the last couple of years. And, different can be either good or bad depending on your mindset. And we wanted to bring in a lot of speakers and have a theme around, this is change and it's going to be different, but there's still opportunity and positivity if you approach it the right way. And so, sometimes you just have to ride that change out. And so the waves of change, they keep on coming. And so we thought, with the San Diego theme, the, kind of the anticipation of it being a different year in 2024 than it has been the last few years, really made a lot of sense.
I think it does. It's so fitting. And I love the way Mahida is able to take a theme and really go all into that theme. And so people kind of go in knowing what to expect from it. I think that's fantastic. Great theme. So, who, in your opinion, do you think should really be attending the MHEDA convention? Is it just for, the C-suite executives, or who do you think should attend this?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, So I think every material handling company should attend because part of the power is the more good people you surround yourself with, the more opportunity we have to have an engaging and interesting conversation and help each other get better. There's certainly a lot of C-suites at the convention and that attend this, but I think it's really for anyone that really holds professional growth, personal growth, continuous improvement as a value of theirs. This is where you can really engage those values and get something out of it. So it's we talked about the investment in money and in time, but it's for the people that understand that it is an investment. It's something that if I put my effort into this, I'm going to get a multiple back in return.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's hard to tie that tangible return on that investment. But every single time I leave and come home, I say, wow, what a great use of time and money out there. And I really made myself better and also our company. So it's really for anyone that wants to improve and be better than they were the day before.
I agree, and I think there's definitely a lot of C-suite there. I was lucky enough to have a fantastic mentor that was the owner of our company, that brought me to the convention fairly earlier on in my career, um, and really going earlier allowed me to meet and make so many connections, that it really benefited the trajectory of my career. So I think it's important to look at it not from the standpoint of just maybe your strategic leadership team, but go down a level to maybe mid management or some of your rock stars, some of the people that you think are really going to thrive in this industry. They'll make the most of the experience. I worked with a bunch of women last year that got scholarships to attend the convention. And they were so grateful and brought so many ideas back with them, that it was such a good, and they'll talk about it forever. So just keep those things in mind when you're thinking about who should attend. It's definitely meant for all levels of the organization, and everybody can certainly benefit. I 100% agree. We
Absolutely.
talked a little bit. You had mentioned Brian, who's one of my favorite speakers at the convention. I look forward to seeing him every year. And I am not an econ nerd. I'm not into numbers. I'm definitely a marketing person. But his is one session I always make sure to never miss because I think it's been fascinating. But can you tell me a little bit more about some of the speakers that you have lined up for this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're excited to bring Brian back. Always a highlight of the convention and one of the best, well-attended keynotes that we give. But we also have a lot of speakers covering a range of topics. And for those who may not know, we always try to align our speakers with the material handling business trends that are put out by the executive committee of MHEDA every year. And so last summer, I had the opportunity to work on those trends with some great people on the executive committee. And we put out a list of 14 business trends. And then we go out and we source speakers for that cover those topics. And so we have different speakers on leadership. So our keynote for the event is Joe Theismann. I'm a big football fan, so I know who he is. I've had to explain who he is to a few others, and that's okay. But he's going to talk about his leadership and the adversity that he had to go through. If you're familiar with the movie The Blind Side, he was the quarterback at the beginning where he had a massive knee injury from Lawrence Taylor when he got sacked, and it changed the trajectory of his career. And so he had to deal with that, how he overcame that adversity. And so we're excited about that. We have Amy Kay, who is always a crowd pleaser and favorite, such a dynamic speaker, talking about leadership and specifically the change, the leadership required during times of change. So it goes with our theme. We have other speakers, talking about sales during tough times. We're anticipating it to be a little different in 2024 than it's been the last few years. And so, we have Matthew Pollard talking about, how to continue to grow your business rapidly, even in the face of uncertainty. And so that's exciting. Paul Riley, who has been at a few different MHEDA events in the past, he always delivers great takeaways for just going out and selling, especially during tough times. So and there's many more that I don't have time to mention right now, but they're all listed on the MHEDA website. And I sat in interviews with every single speaker and listened to how they could connect with our audience, and I'm really excited about the takeaways that they're going to provide to our membership.
Yeah, MHEDA definitely never skims out on the speakers. I think that's one of the things that they really vet the speakers really well. And there's always a great takeaway. I even heard that there's a real life princess coming to the MHEDA convention. I think she's running the Women in Industry session one of the days.
She is, yeah, Princess Sarah Culberson. Yeah, dynamic speaker, and spent some time with her, and excited to bring her in for the Women in Industry, which is always an event that is looked forward to by all of the females in attendance, and we're excited about the content she's going to deliver.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, we talked about the speakers. I want to go back to the networking because the speakers are great. I get a lot of information from them, but I'll say the networking for me has been the most valuable element of going to the MHEDA convention. I think MHEDA does a really great job of doing what I call forced networking and passive networking. So, kind of forcing you to talk to other people, but then other events that you kind of network at your own sort of pace. What opportunities in the convention this year are there for networking?
Oh, how much time do we have? There's so many. So some of the forced networking that we have, and not forced, but
Right.
it's structured opportunity to network. So it starts off on Sunday evening with the newcomers reception. And that's always a great opportunity for anyone who hasn't attended convention in the past, or even if you have, you can still attend, which I would recommend. And it's a great way for everyone to come in. You get to hear from a lot of the members of the board of MHEDA. So myself and other distributors that are on the board, and a few suppliers as well from the MBOA. Manufacturers Board of Advisors that is on the MHEDA board. And it really kicks the event off because now you have a group of people that they're in the know, and they can help facilitate and help you get the most out of your experience at MHEDA. So I always recommend the newcomers reception. Attend every dinner you can, attend everything you can possibly attend, because this is something where you only get out of it what you put into it, but you get so much more out than the effort you put in. And so get up early, get to breakfast. You never know who you're going to sit with, and it might be you might create a new best friend, you might create a new partnership with a supplier, and you just never know where these engagements are going to lead. But you got to put yourself out there and give yourself the opportunity for a positive interaction. And beyond that, there's various roundtable sessions. I already mentioned breakfast, so all the meals attend. But then it's even as simple as in the evening, go down to the hotel bar. There'll be people around there having a cocktail or a beer, and sharing stories, and that's where you can really develop some of those deep-rooted relationships. And so, don't miss out on that opportunity. If you come in early, head to the pool, take part in the golf outing. All of these are ways that you're just giving yourself the chance to make a positive connection with someone and expand your network, which is really valuable.
I agree, and I definitely agree. Don't miss the newcomers reception if you haven't been before. You can you see people in your same situation, not sure what to expect. There's almost an immediate bond created because you have something in common. But it's I would say I'm not somebody that's organically um, excited about networking, I'll say. it's never really been my wheelhouse. But I will say that MHEDA and the people that attend have always made the environment so welcoming that you almost forget that you're actually networking. You're just having a conversation. And that's been such a great experience. I will also second your, there's always somebody at the bar. So if you're not sure where to go, and those people tend to be very helpful as well. So definitely always go to the bar. You can definitely find people.
Absolutely.
What are, we talked about a lot of different parts of the convention, but as the convention chair, what are you looking forward to the most this year?
Yeah. Uh, just the opportunity to get in front of the entire association that attends the convention. Public speaking isn't something I've done a ton of, but this is just a great opportunity. And so I'm excited for the challenge and getting up there and giving it my all and seeing what happens. So, per, for me personally, that's kind of new because this is a one-time opportunity for me, and so I'm certainly gonna give it my best. But overall, I always just look forward to reconnecting with the relationships that I've built over the last 6 7 years that I've attended convention, but then also the new relationships that are yet to come, and that's always the exciting part for me is you don't know what you're going to get out of it until you've done it. And so I always just lead by, putting myself out there, and even if it's uncomfortable at times, I'm willing to do that, and I look forward to that. And I don't know what the return is going to be, but I get back from San Diego and I kind of debrief on what everything that happened and transpired out in San Diego, and I just always look forward to kind of the excitement of the unknown that I'm going to experience.
Exactly. I agree. Um, this year we kind of talked about the importance of senior leadership bringing additional people to expose them to the convention, to help those rock stars, to help those people that are really motivated. Mahita's made it really easy this year just to financially be able to do that. They're offering a special that if you buy one, I think there's some type of discount that you get to bring additional people from your organization. So it makes a lot more sense financially to bring additional people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Mahida is highly interested in expanding our relationships within its current membership base. We definitely want this to be, not just the top level, but the next level and even the next level beyond that. And so, but we are very cognizant that it is a investment of money for companies, and we have a lot of smaller association members that we felt like it was important that we find a way for them to bring more than just themselves. And so if we can do something to make it a little more financially reasonable for them, that was of interest to all of us. So for every full attendee price that a member pays, they get a second one. It's more than half off. I believe it's $495
Yeah, I think
early.
I did the math. It was 75% off. 75% off for a second
Yeah,
attendee.
yeah. So a significant discount for you to bring an additional person. So we hope lots of people take advantage of that and hopefully see some new faces and have the largest newcomers reception we've ever had.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Nate, I know that this is your first podcast and it's your first one with Mahita Talks for sure. I'm not sure if you're familiar with our lightning round, but you have made it to the lightning round of our podcast. So the
Love it.
lightning round is 10 questions to get to kind of know you a little bit better. And you're just going to say the first answer that comes to your head. Are you ready to enter the lightning round?
I'm ready.
Okay. I try to start off easy because this is your first time. Um, if you could have an unlimited supply of one thing, what would it be?
Time.
Do you have a nickname that your parents used to call you?
Ooh. My parents still call me Nathan, and most people in the industry know me as Nate, so they'd probably say, "Who the heck is Nathan?" So we'll call that the nickname, even though that is my real name.
Would you rather live in a world without music or a world without movies?
Ooh. So music is part of my soul. My father was a professional musician at one point, and ever since I was born, I've been hearing him play his guitar. So I have to do without movies because I could not deal with not having music in my life.
Where do you go when you want to be alone?
When I want to be alone, sometimes to the gym. Um, I'll go. I'll go on a walk. I enjoy a nice 3 mile walk. Gives me about 45, 55 minutes by myself to just clear my thoughts, get some exercise. And so that's one of my best ways to decompress and be alone.
What do you impulse buy most often at the store?
Ooh, uh, sweets, desserts, candy.
No,
That's
they
never
always
part of my plan, and somehow it ends up in my basket.
Would you describe yourself as an optimist or a realist?
Ooh, I would say a little bit of both. I tried to lead with optimism, but it has to be rooted in reality. And so, as positive as I could be, if it doesn't if it doesn't have a realistic chance of coming true, then I don't want to oversell something. So I'd say a little bit of both.
Fair. What is the worst sound in the world to you?
No.
I like that. Would you rather be chased through a forest by a zombie or a lion?
Ooh. I would say that's a tough one. I'll go with zombie. I'm not a zombie person, so I don't know much about them, and I'm just hoping they don't exist. So I'm hoping that's not even a chance.
I know you have a few children, and as parents, I think we always get stuck watching some of their TV shows. What little kid TV show do you actually secretly like?
Oh, little kid TV show I secretly like. Um, You know, it, anything on Disney, they do a great job.
Thank
So I
you.
have four children from 9 to 3, and so my 3-year-old is I probably enjoy her shows more than the what my 9-year-old is getting into these days. But she's really into like PJ Masks and Paw Patrol right now, and so I would say Paw Patrol is probably a good one.
That's not bad. What object do you lose the most?
Object do I lose the most? Um, that's interesting. Maybe my water bottle. I carry this thing around. I try to drink lots of water. It's a Yeti water bottle here. Hard to see, but I, I carry this with me everywhere, and sometimes I just leave it, and so I'll have to walk through the office and go find it. And I never really lose it. I just kind of misplace it for a few minutes, and then go and find it.
Fair. Well, Nate, you made it through our lightning round. You made it through your first podcast. You're the convention chair of MHEDA 2024. This year's off to a pretty good start for you.
Yes, we're starting strong.
We
So
are. So, do you have any final words you want to leave our listeners with about the convention coming up?
yeah, first, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to more podcasts. They're not intimidating. You've been a great host. I would just encourage everyone to try to make it out to San Diego at the end of April for the convention. It's a great way to connect. I look forward to connecting with all of you that do make it. Please come by, shake my hand, say hi, introduce yourself. I'm certainly looking forward to it, and looking forward to a prosperous 2024.
Well, thank you so much for being on, Nate, and thank you for your service to MHEDA and the community and being part of the convention. I know it's extra work on top of everything else you already have, so we appreciate those that commit their time and effort to such a great cause. So the MHEDA convention is April 20th through 24th. As Nate's mentioned, it's in sunny San Diego. All of the registration information that you need is on MHEDA's website at mheda.org. And we'll see you on the next MHEDA Talks. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you.